Hello, I'm David Waddell, CEO of Waddell & Associates, and if you're watching this, it's because you have my letter in hand, you've clicked on the QR code, and you're curious to learn more about this announcement. Well, I thought, since I don't have the ability probably today to have conversations with all of you, that I'd have one big conversation and that you'd have the opportunity to eavesdrop. So for that, I have chosen my good friend and longtime W&A client, Arnie Malham, here in Nashville, who also always asks me probing questions. And so who better to interrogate me on this topic than my good friend, Arnie Malham.
What a great opportunity.
Thank you, Arnie.
Well, let's get into it, David.
All right, let's do it.
3 questions. As a client, what does this mean to me? As a firm, what does it mean to your team and your people that this is a big deal for them? And then you personally, what does this mean to you? What do you stop doing? What do you get to start doing? But let's start with me, the client, in a selfish way. What does this mean to me, the client?
Well, the first question I ask you is, are you happy right now as a client?
I've been with W&A for over 15 years, and what I like most is no one thinks about my money more than you.
Well, the good news is none of it changes, right? So your advisor stays your advisor, your account stays your account, and I will continue to think all the time about your money and mine since we invest in the same models. Where I think the improvements will come is in one of 3 lanes. And when I think about this business and what I was hoping to achieve and firm-wide we hope to achieve, we want to be excellent at 3 things. We want to be excellent at investments, we want to be excellent at financial planning, and want to be excellent at communication.
I like all those.
Yeah. So let's take the investments. I am very proud of our investment platform today. There may be things that roll out in the future that we perhaps wouldn't have had access to at $3 billion in assets under management that we might have access to at $11 billion in assets under management.
It's a big jump.
So scale gives you a little bit more of a seat at the table on the street. Now, that doesn't mean that today, I don't think we do anything differently, but it does mean that we're going to get a longer list of opportunities. We're going to have more negotiating power when we look at things, and we'll even have enough scale that if we feel like there's a gap in the marketplace, there's an opportunity for us to construct something tailor-made, bespoke for our clients and our clients only.
And the market's changing faster and faster, and so that it sounds like more opportunity to take advantage of that change.
Yeah, and I'll have a much deeper bench on the investment committee. There'll be more people working on research. And so I think we'll improve the probability of receiving the returns that you and Ann need for all your hopes and dreams to come true. And that's really the mission.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So as a client, potentially some more opportunity, a little more breadth of opportunity, if you will, for the firm. And then for the firm itself, what does it mean for your team?
Right now, there are 3 partners at Waddell & Associates. At Coastal Bridge, there'll be almost 20 partners, right? So there are going to be a lot more pathways to partnership. There'll be a lot more career development opportunities. As I say, the assets in this business basically get on the elevator every day, right? It's really about our people. We need to have the best people, and they need to have the best opportunities to create their own financial plans and live out their own, financial fantasies. And so this gives us more scale, more pathways, more capability, more reach. For those that maybe have a smaller firm, even similar in mission to ours, we can tuck them in. Like, it just gives us a lot more strategic opportunity for our people.
And as a client, I want your people to be the most knowledgeable, have the most access, have the best training, have pathways. I want them to be happy because they make me happy, right?
Correct. And what you don't want over time is you don't want a bunch of turnover. I mean, there'll be some people maybe who aren't the best fits for the firm. That's fine.
Because your tenure as a team, your people have been around for a minute, right?
A long time. I'm not even the longest tenured on staff right now. So, yeah, the people have been around a long time. And for those who, you build a close relationship with your advisor,
right.
You want that relationship to continue. So it's part of the mission of leadership within the firm to be sure those people are around to take care of you and your family.
So that's me, the client. That's your team who I admire and respect. And then for you, I know you've carried the burden of the firm for 20, 25 years. And, and the smaller the shop, the more hats you wear. What does this mean for you as this firm goes from 3 billion to 11 billion?
Yeah, so there'll be more distributed executive leadership, and that's a good thing. It got to a point where it was very difficult for me to do excellent work as CEO, chairman, chief investment strategist. It's just a lot, you know, and we have 1,100 clients, and I don't get to spend time with all of them, but I want to, you know, so
Right.
so having more internal resources to liberate me to be out in the field makes me feel so much better, right?
Yeah.
I want to spend time with the media. I want to spend time on the investments. I want to spend time with the clients. I want to spend time supporting the advisors. And so if I don't have to go to an HR meeting, you know, maybe that means I can spend more time with you. And that's probably not a bad thing. So I think at this point, for me, what I'm most excited about is being liberated a little bit from some of the administrative burden so that I can be more alive in the conversations out in the field.
And so that you mentioned technology earlier and how there might be more of that coming. If I love technology, that's great. If I'm a little scared of technology, how does that affect me?
So there's technology that you'll see, right? The reporting will get better on the performance. The vault will be really cool where you put your documents in, you'll have the ability to query it. And it'll just create more of a living library of the relationship, which I'm very excited about. But maybe you want to participate in that, maybe you don't, right?
Yeah. Maybe I just want to have another conversation.
Well, that's the technology you don't see, right? So behind the scenes, we're going to put turbochargers on what we've got from a software perspective so that, you know, Perry and I aren't staying up until 11 o'clock at night building financial plans. The computers are staying up till 11 at night building, and then we're in conversation.
You're translating those plans. You're making sure that the assets are where they need to be. You're doing the thing instead of building the structure. You're making sure that it all holds.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, this relationship between us and the client is forged on trust, right? And so the more time we can spend together in conversation and you can watch the body language, the more you'll know this is trustworthy. I do not think an AI machine calling you on the telephone and you're wondering whether that's a person or not is trustworthy. So more time in the field, more storytelling, more fireside chats. I want that.
Well, and you know, me and you talked about this a little before, which was sometimes scale gives you automation as opposed to personalization.
Correct.
How does this not happen here? Does this I want more personalization, not less.
Well, that's where I think the back of the house technology becomes so useful. So the financial planning work that gets done, it's intense. It's a lot to take, you know, estate plans and put them together, and it's a lot. The more of that the computer can do, and do correctly, we fact check everything because quality control is mission one in this business, the less time Perry has to spend doing that, right? And the more time you can spend with him as he translates your estate plan.
the opportunity.
So I think there's an orientation that is incorrect about AI, which is we won't need the people. I think the orientation is the AI makes the people better so that they can be in the field more, and that's the part I'm very excited about. But I can't get to that moment without a big enough amount of spend and specialized resources, a chief AI officer, to be able to make sure that happens. Because the org chart ultimately is going to have people in it, and it's also going to have AI agents.
And you want every person in it waking up every day focused on what they do best.
Right, and focused on the client.
Yeah.
Right? And so trying to do the future wearing multiple hats, being chief investment strategist and CEO and chairman and chief technology officer can't be done.
It's just a lot.
Yeah. So I think we can get to scale with all the advantages of scale and not the disadvantages you talk to, where sometimes scale gets cold.
Yeah, it gets
it becomes standardized, it becomes bureaucratized. We're not going to do that.
So this all 40 years ago. This is your the firm's 40-year anniversary, not yours, but the firm's. And I know your mom recently talked about what the 40 years has meant to her. What does she think about this change, about this reverse merger, if you will?
I mean, she's very excited about it. She's kind of amazed that this little kitchen table conversation that they had is now going to be one of the largest independent, registered advisory firms in the country.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and it's exciting. But it's a testament to the fact that their orientation to always do the right thing for the client is why the firm is at this size, right? I mean, we didn't cut corners. The hardest thing about this business over time is staying in it, right? Is doing a good job.
Yeah, row steady, right?
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So while it looks like it's it's 11 billion is a big number, but so is 40 years.
Yeah.
So it took kind of a long time to get here. So she's excited about maybe there being less burden on David at the top, more executive leadership, more distribution around that. And so, yeah, she's supportive. And, I asked her about the name because we are going through a name change, and there's a reason for that. At 100 people, on payroll and offices all over the country, this is just not the Waddell Show at all.
Yeah.
We needed a broader banner for all of that. She said, David, had you not come back to this business, we would have eliminated the name anyway. So she was like, you
works things
prolonged
out.
the name. You're not
Yeah.
extinguishing the name.
I love it. And then I want to mention your father too. I know we lost him a few years ago. He started this whole thing. What do you think your father would say about this opportunity?
I mean, he was a great strategic sparring partner for me. And there were lots of different things that you could have done with this business over time. And he passed away, as you said, about a decade ago. And we had multiple conversations because I was with him in the business for 15 years. And so we talked about, doing mergers, doing acquisitions, spinning things off. We had robust strategic conversations. But, I think for this one specifically, what he would say is, David, your ability to reach more clients while maintaining the cloak of your values is really compelling, right? Mm-hmm. So as long as the stewardship stays intact, as long as the value structure stays intact, as long as the client-centric orientation stays intact, the scale is welcomed. If any of that was compromised, he would tell me to walk away.
David, it sounds good. Sounds good for me, the client, right? Selfishly, sounds good for the firm, sounds good for you. I'm convinced this is going to be a great move, and if it's not, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I know you will, and I appreciate that. And if it's not, I'll do whatever I can to fix it. I think what's most important to know, and this is maybe where I was just sort of, feeling so called, is that this is a stewardship role, and I often thought, if you're not a client of ours, I can't protect you. And I can't tell you how many times I have ugly statements come through the door or mismanaged related. The only thing that I sort of regret in the course of my career is that we didn't help more people, right? Like it's probably like the doctor that feels like, well, I saved 100, but I should have saved 100,000, right? This platform will give us the ability to take what is unique and special about us to a much broader audience and improve, hopefully, their lives and their outcomes, more celebrations. So I'm very excited about it. I obviously have not lost the passion for the business. I am not going away. This just adds an exponent to what I think is already a tremendous business.
I'm excited for everyone.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
You bet.